Yo, what's going on, guys? Bot Mentality here with another Bitcoin chart analysis for you. And today is September 10th of 2018. And the first thing I want to do is go ahead and apologize for not having a video out yesterday. The situation was, I had a friend who's like, yo, let's go out there on the river, just do some kayaking, only take about an hour or two, have some fun, right? So I get out there, man, guys, I was on that river for about 6 hours. It was a lot of fun. It was great to be out there and experience the weather. But the whole time I was like, man, I wasn't able to record a video today. I wonder what the market's doing. Did Bitcoin break out of the equilibrium yet? What's going on? Did it break down? Did my orders get hit? Et cetera, et cetera. So, I didn't miss too much when I came back and charted. I missed a little bit here with that parabolic and consolidation. Then we had that breakdown at the end there. I'll talk about that. But for the most part, we're still stuck here in that consolidation pattern. So I just want to let you guys know the situation. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and jump into it. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to talk about the news that happened between today and yesterday. The very first thing is the fact that the SEC suspended trading in two Bitcoin related over-the-counter stocks. And that would be what they call it, the CXBTF right here and the CETHF. They're over-the-counter, so it's not that big of a deal, but you would think that the fact that the SEC is suspending trading in two cryptocurrency related products, even though it's not for a sort of a sketchy reason, they weren't doing anything wrong, it's just people were confused about what they were actually trading and they thought it was an ETF. So they went ahead and suspended that to clear that up. You would expect that to be bearish news and the market to respond. However, the market really didn't respond much, guys. This is all just shorts and longs, just trading with each other essentially. So I find that interesting that we didn't see a response. But remember, the SEC is continuing to keep eye on cryptocurrency in general. So this isn't good news, but it really hasn't. It doesn't mean much because nothing's really happened yet. And the stock market isn't what's determining Bitcoin price anyway, right? So the next thing was that the Winklevoss brothers, the owners of Gemini, actually went ahead and released what they're calling a stable coin. The New York Department of Financial Services, the NYDFS, has approved Gemini Trust Company's request to issue its first cryptocurrency. So the Gemini dollar, basically, guys, it's Gemini Tether. That's all it is. It's just Tether. They're backing it a little bit different. What is it? ERC20 token is what I believe. And pretty much, what does this mean? They're just trying to be Tether. It's a little bit late. I don't really find this news significant. The best part is that it is listed here with them. It's on a regulated exchange. However, as you can see in Bitcoin, the price hasn't responded. We're still in the same pattern. So the market's pretty much feeling irrelevant. It's kind of set apart from news right now, and nothing's really moving us one way or the other. Not the SEC negative news or the great news, which was this this stable coin listing, as they're calling it, which I don't really find it too significant. But hey, you know what? At least they're making leaps and bounds, right? The brothers are doing good things for the market in general. But short term, it's not affecting anything. So those are the two most recent news articles I just wanted to talk about a little bit. And now let's jump into my favorite part, which is the technicals. So the very first thing we saw here is we did see a consolidation here. I'm on the 15-minute on Bitcoin currently. We did see a little bit of a consolidation right before we saw a huge explosion right here, and we saw an explosion of parabolic action. That was just due to shorts covering, which I'll show you on the Bitfinex short chart a little bit later. But after that consolidation, we saw a burst up, and we saw a stuff into that 6,400 level, which makes sense because that was previous resistance right here just a few days ago, guys. So it makes sense that if you were to draw a horizontal line through the average of that consolidation, we're going to see rejection into there. Why? Because the people who bought during this consolidation here on the left side of the chart, the people who bought during that are going to be looked to take off their positions at break even. See, as simple as that. And there's a psychology behind it. So we saw some people take off their positions, long sold into that. We saw another sideways consolidation. A lot of people did get trapped into this, thinking that now that we saw that huge surge, they're thinking, okay, people are buying now. But really, it wasn't. It was shorts just covering their position into the daily support. And so this consolidation, and then we saw a dump right here. Quick recovery there as the longs came in to kind of balance out the pattern here and form the equilibrium pattern we're looking at right now. Then we saw a curl here, shorts covered, and now we're just consolidating. So essentially right now you can just draw a trend line here. Pretty straightforward, just a basic wedge we're forming right here. And essentially what this means, big picture, is we are waiting. More waiting, guys. I saw a tweet today by somebody that said, the more I go full-time the more I've been trading, the longer I've been trading, the more I realize it's not full-time trading, it's full-time waiting, and that's exactly what this is. So you can see here we have an equilibrium pattern setting up with the the low here, lower high, higher low. You know how it goes, that wedge. And really what this means is that the sellers and buyers are rising. The buyers are rising to meet the sellers, and the sellers are lower, going down to meet the buyers. So it's more of like an equilibrium, equal force both ways. Now, here's what I'll say. If this was in a bullish trend, I'd be more likely to play this bullish. Because the fact that we've been hammered so hard here from the bears, I'm not currently playing this consolidation pattern. If we're able to break up, that would be absolutely fantastic for the market. Excuse me. That would be absolutely fantastic for the market. However, that's not where my money is betting. But if you are trading this pattern, you do have a pretty clear risk here. We don't have much longer before we're going to have to break either one way or the other. But your risk should be on the bottom of that trend line. Or if you want, you could set it there at the 6,220. You saw that wick there. Or just go ahead and with the even 6,200 just to be safe so you don't get wicked out. But this is what you need to keep a focus on. But the momentum still is in the favor of the bears. If we go here to the 4-hour chart, you'll see that pattern right there. The equilibrium that we just drew. We're still trending here under the 26 exponential moving average, and the 12 is right there with it. Keep an eye on that, because if we break over this on the 4-hour, this equilibrium downtrend line, hopefully we can find support on that, and we should be able to test and hopefully break the 12 EMA there on the 4-hour time frame. If we go to the daily, this is where things are most significant for me. Notice the bullish volume. We're getting close to having equal bull volume compared to yesterday. However, we haven't quite broken that level. We need to see a surge of bull volume here to really add strength to that break of that equilibrium upwards, that downwards trend line right there to the upside. We would need to see strength on that to break. Now, there's a few resistance levels, again, you need to make sure you're staying focused on. The first one is, of course, the 6,400, which we talked about intraday, where we topped out on that parabolic previously. But second, let's just say, for example, we do form an uptrend like we've seen previously, right? When we saw this uptrend right here back in July, and then this uptrend here, which we had just last month. Let's say we see that again. Where are we likely to top out at? Well, here's what I want you to, in case we do see your crazy parabolic or bullish news, here's what you need to pay attention to. The 6,800, first of all, you're going to notice that's going to converge. The 6,800 converges with the 12 and the 26 EMA bearish downward cross, which is right here. When those two lines cross each other to the downside, it just shows that the average price action is heading down, right? And so keep an eye on that. This is, of course, a hard level we'll probably top out at. What you also need to keep in mind is on the previous uptrend, if we do start uptrending from here, the previous level we topped out, if we were to draw the Fibonacci retracement here on this, would be, let's see, we'll draw this to the top there, right at about 7,400 right here. Okay, so if you were to go ahead and draw that line, you'll see right about where we top out. Right there, that 6,800 is also the 38.2. So keep that in mind. We wicked here at the 61.8 previously. So keep that, and of course the 61.8, which is $6,457, is right below 6,500. So again, Hohenhoff dollar marks. Keep an eye on the 6,500 as well as the 6,800, and then of course we have 7,000. But if we see a break over this equilibrium pattern there on the intraday, it's likely we will find resistance there at the 6,500 tops, really, unless for some reason the shorts really get going. But I doubt it for right now. We're hanging too close to the lows, in my opinion, guys. And so that's pretty much what I'm seeing here on the daily right now. I have not taken any positions yet. I'm remaining patient. Zeno from the chat room, he's actually been scalping Bitcoin, or actually Ethereum, on the short term, just in this consolidation. But here's what you need to understand if you're deciding to scalp this equilibrium pattern. The main thing is that your risk reward is going to have to adjust, because if you notice, if you look at a wedge in the beginning, this is, I'm drawing this really ugly, guys, but essentially what I'm trying to get at here is in the beginning of the wedge, you're going to notice we have a lot more room, so you can scalp the volatility a lot more if you just trade the channel. But as it becomes to a head, there's less room to trade on, and there's less momentum for both the shorts and the bulls. So I would recommend waiting until after this trend line if you're looking to trade scalp. If you're trading the longer term time frame, you need to wait for a daily high or low, just because the fact that we don't know where we're going right here, guys. And oh man, that looks terrible. Let me set this back. We don't really know exactly where we're going yet on the daily, and I wouldn't recommend taking a long, so close here to the lows, just because of the fact that we could break down lower. And that's what I'm being patient for. So it's still a no trade zone for me, but keep an eye on that equilibrium time frame. Set your alerts. It looks like we're trying to move towards the top of it right now, towards that 6,300 resistance level. But that's pretty much what I got for that. I'll jump over here to the Bitfinex long chart and short chart. the main thing you need to think about here for the Bitfinex longs is the fact that we are still, like, yes, we saw a nice curl here, but we did break the previous lows. If you look back here, we did break these previous lows as far as the longs. So we did reach a new low as far as how many open long positions are on Bitfinex, and we're still having lower highs all the way down. We are still experiencing lower highs, and that's definitely not a good sign. So keep that in mind. We're curling right now, which is great, but in the big picture, we have a long way to go just to get back to where we were a few days ago, the end of August. So that's for the longs. And in the short time frame, you see the longs have bought this equilibrium quite significantly. As we've been consolidating, the longs have increased their position. They're thinking that, you know, we might head upward from here. Now, whether we will or not, that's another question entirely. Just be patient and watch that. But we did see a curl from the longs, which is a good sign if you're long the equilibrium pattern. We should see a break soon. See the little double top there on position sizes. Now the shorts, if we go to the shorts, you'll see the shorts have actually been taking off. They've been essentially right here. They help support the equilibrium pattern right there, right? And support the price a little bit. And right now we saw a slight increase, but not too much, nothing too aggressive. However, if you do go to the 4-hour chart, the shorts are making higher highs, and then the average short, the open short interest, the amount of short positions that are open is increasing over time, is what I'm trying to get at. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. This is actually pretty boring price action. Unless you're scalping, you need to make sure you just need to set your alerts and be patient. We haven't seen any significant momentum yet on the daily chart, and we haven't seen the breakdown that I was looking for to buy. So I'm just going to continue to remain patient. Again, if you guys have any questions about anything, or if you have any comments, leave them down in the description box below, or leave them in the comment section below. I also have a link to my Patreon in the description if you'd like to sign up for my newsletter. I'm actually going to go ahead and start adding the SPY on there as well. I'm looking into some options trading, so I'll be keep adding that content to the channel very soon. So if you're interested in that, sign up for that. And if you'd like to join my chat room, you have any questions, that'll be in the description as well on my Patreon. You can follow me on Twitter, message me on there. I'm very active on Twitter, posting multiple times every single day. And yeah, just anything I find relevant and just general commentary on the markets as it happens. And that's about it, guys. So just continue to remain patient. I know cryptocurrency has been rough lately on the long side, but continue to remain patient because the opportunity will arise when you'll be able to make some money, guys. I know it. And so everyone have a great rest of your day. Continue controlling your emotions and developing that bot mentality and learning how to trade like a machine. I'm out of here. Deuces.